Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. The Biden address to the nation last night, I did not watch it, but I have read excerpts from both sides of the equation, left and right. And bottom line to me is that what we're looking at is a president, an administration that is looking to create a police state, beefing up the IRS to pursue the wealthy, the people, the means of production, the people who have created the opportunity in this country as far as jobs, businesses, have risked capital in order to create the capitalist society that has been so successful, is the envy of the world, and is where everyone is trying to get into, the country everyone is trying to get into. That is a testament to what has been built here, what needs to be preserved here, and what needs to continue moving forward. The increase in taxes is a fraud. It's a smokescreen. It is a lie. It is not necessary. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. Taxes need to be lowered and lowered substantially. The top corporate tax rate needs to be among the lowest of the world's, among the world's largest economies. There's no reason why the corporate tax rate in the United States should not be 10 to 15%. The key here is that the loopholes need to be eliminated. The same corporate entities that today are on board and being vocal and going on television and going on all the financial networks and saying we are willing to pay more because we believe in equality and we believe in leveling the playing field and we believe in giving money to this group or that group. Those very people, those corporate CEOs, those board members, those investors, those very people that are coming on TV for their cameos and their advertising, false advertising of their intent, those people will go away and will jump the moment you tell them you have no loopholes. Because the problem here is that the biggest complaint that we receive and we hear is that the giant corporate entities in this country pay zero federal income taxes. That's under a 21% corporate tax code. What's going to change if it's 28? They're still going to pay zero because the loopholes remain in place. Take away the loopholes. Lower the tax rate to 10 to 15%, but take away the loopholes. You know what those corporate executives are going to become? You know what those CEOs are going to become? Republicans. Because they're going to see that they're going to pay taxes and that their loopholes are gone and that they're going to have to stand on their own 2 feet without a manipulated system. And that will require the lowest tax rate possible in order to continue moving forward. The elimination of those loopholes costs only one sector of society, will cost the most to one sector of society. That is the politician. Because all of a sudden, the corporate donations, the lobbying, the dollars that come into their coffers to protect the loopholes, once they know the loopholes are off the table, those dollars stop coming in. The politicians all of a sudden are faced with a feeding trough that has just enough substance, just enough content in it for them to survive. Imagine that, having to live on just their $170,000 a year salary. All of a sudden, politicians will be accountable. Politicians will have to deliver. Politicians will have to worry about someone other than themselves, namely their constituents, because if they don't, they will be not voted in. No longer will they have the coffers stuffed with corporate dollars, contributions to pay the payola. They will now have to earn their keep. They will now have to earn the votes. They won't be able to have money to buy votes. They will have to earn their votes. And that is where this system gets righted. That's where this ship gets righted. Lower the corporate tax rate, the individual tax rate, No need for it to be more than 10 to 15%. Absolutely not. Zero write-offs. Here's your tax return, April 15th. This is how much I made. 20. Here's 15% of that. Thank you. Have a good day. We continue forward. That's the way it's got to go. Of course, the lobbyists for the just this accounting, the CPA firms, the accountants in this world, just that sector alone, the financial planners, the estate planners. It's another, the estate tax. What Biden is proposing, the elimination of that step-up proposal basis. All the property, all the assets being passed forward in these estates are taxed after tax dollars. People already paid their taxes on these dollars. And now you want to force them to pay taxes on a stepped-up basis when they haven't even realized the gain. They haven't even realized the gain. Before this was changed, look at the Robbies, Joe Robbie, the Dolphin owner. Look what happened to that estate. Brought to their knees, forced to sell the Dolphins, forced to sell all their assets because of that. That is what destroys. That is a perfect example. Read that case history of Joe Robbie's estate, and you will see the aim of the left, what it is, which is to punish those who had the foresight, the gumption, the risk-taking, the perseverance to invest, to create wealth, to create jobs, to create opportunity. And now those people that didn't have those things, didn't think of those things, are suddenly in power, and they're saying, not that these successful people are something we need to emulate, it's look what they got by taking risk. We didn't take risk, our family didn't take risk, however, we want a piece of that. No, you don't get a piece of that. That's over and done with. You want to do that? You move forward and do the same thing. Do the same thing. Your opportunity is there. Take the risk, invest your money, work your ass off, and you'll get to the same place. But no, what they want is a shortcut. They want to take it from those that achieved, those who did sacrifice, those who lived frugally. There's so many examples that you read about individuals with teachers' jobs, police officers, postal workers who lived frugally their entire lives, invested their money long term, and 50, 60 years afterwards when they die, people who find out that they were multi-millionaires on a $40,000 or $50,000 a year salary, living very modestly. That is how it's done, not the shortcuts that they're implementing now. These shortcuts are only one thing, is to take as much money as you can from the wealth of this country, redistribute it to people under the guise that it's going to help them. And the politicians know damn full well that it's not going to help the people they're giving the money to. That money will revert back to the wealth creators, because that's a fact. You put money in the hands of people who don't know how to create wealth, who don't know how to invest, who don't know how to preserve capital, grow capital. Those people, that money will end up in the hands of those who do. And that's all that this is. This is a scam. The bulking up of the IRS in order to enforce the tax code and get more money from the rich is a police state. The Nazis did it. Castro did it. Chavez and Maduro have done it. That's all this is. It's a police state, government police state, to go after wealth in this country, led by the woke left, who can't stand the fact that there's people who have achieved here and that they haven't. That is ironic in the sense that the woke left wants to eliminate police, wants to defund police, but at the same time, they want to build up the IRS. We don't need to build up the IRS. As a matter of fact, we can really, really streamline the IRS even further with the elimination of the loopholes in the tax code that I've discussed. That's the answer. Who gets hurt by eliminating loopholes? Who gets hurt is the people who rely on the lobbyists and the corporate entities who fill their coffers with money to protect those loopholes. The politician. No longer will the politician have a feeding trough stuffed full of taxpayer dollars, stuffed full of lobbyist dollars, corporate donor dollars to spread around and buy votes for an agenda that is meant to protect the very issues that they profess to be fighting, which is inequality. You want equality in this country? Make it a very simple tax code. Lower the rate, people will go out, people will work. Who's not going to go out and work knowing that, hey, out of every dollar I make, I get to keep 80 cents, 85 cents? It'll be an economic boom. Government will be streamlined. It won't be as necessary as it is now. It will be streamlined. The overhead of running the government will be streamlined, will be reduced greatly. The tax base will increase exponentially. This is the true answer. And as far as, there isn't equal opportunity for everyone on a system like that, yes, there is. Work, sacrifice, take risks, educate yourself, and you will achieve. You get what you settle for. And if what you're settling for is a government fish in the mail every month, that's what you're going to get. And that's what you're going to settle for. And that's where you're going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and 15 years from now. The only problem is that fish every year costs more and more and more and more to deliver. I think that Senator Scott's response to the Biden trash talking was very apropos. This country's not racist. This country's full of opportunity. And to penalize wealth creators, entrepreneurs, risk takers is anti-American. It goes against what has made this country great. I heard Trump this morning with Bartiromo and saying that he plans on running again. And he's thinking seriously about running again. He's thinking about DeSantis as a running mate. He's thinking about all these things. And he doubled down on his opinion which he's allowed to have, and an opinion which I concur with. It is also my opinion that what happened in the elections of November 2020 was a fraud, and that we are not in any way, shape, or form a country that is in line with what is being professed at this point by this administration. This country is being harmed tremendously by a politician, a face. He's only the face. He's a puppet. When you see him on television speak, I can almost see the strings being pulled that move his hands and his mouth and everything. He's a puppet. He was told, you're irrelevant. You're going to be found out. Your family's going to be found out unless you do our bidding. And that's what he's doing. He's doing the bidding. Kamala, such a fake and liar. I'll never forget the Colbert interview when they asked her how she could be on board with Biden And she said, it was a debate. It was a debate, her comments. In other words, I'm willing to lie. I'm willing to say whatever needs to be said under the guise that it's a debate, under the guise that it's what is needed to obtain the objective. When she was asked why she hasn't visited the border, oh, it's COVID related. You've been traveling the country pushing this tax increase, this new financial initiative of your administration. There's no COVID problem there, but there's a COVID problem going to the border. No, the problem is that you know that the mass media will focus on your visit to the border and will expose what is evident to anyone who does go to the border. You don't want that on television. You don't want that on ABC, NBC, CBS, and that's why none of them are calling for you to go to the border. Because once you go to the border, they will be forced to watch and videotape you and broadcast you, and the atrocities of the catastrophe that has been caused by the Biden decisions to stop building the wall and to encourage illegal immigration into this country and to encourage children under the age of 16 to be brought into this country alone, to encourage it, to openly encourage it because it allows the kid to stay. Decisions which have emboldened and enriched the cartels to the tunes of billions of dollars. That is all under the guise of the czar of the border issue, Kamala, totally incompetent and a total validation of my premise that she is where she is in this administration, not on qualification. Absolutely not on qualification. I'm more qualified to be the vice president of the United States than she is. And I'm not qualified. Based on other things, other issues, on the boxes that she checks. That's why she's there. It's my opinion, and that is a strong opinion. And I will argue it with anyone. We need to turn this around. I am encouraged by some of these Democrats who are voicing concerns over this radical agenda. And I think American public is far too smart to be duped by this. Joe Biden is the Trojan horse. But this Trojan horse is not going to enter the gates of American society because America is wising up and beginning to realize that they were defrauded. Move forward, stay strong, voice your opinion. Make sure that people understand and hear you. Do not be afraid. This is still America. This is still the land of liberty, the land of opportunity. And the only thing that will keep you from achieving is yourself and the reliance on someone other than yourself to get you where you want to get. Look at where you want to go, undertake that journey. But make sure that the person driving the car on that journey is you, not anyone else. Thank you. Have a good day. Get me some subscribers, would you? Thanks.